Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of your weekly dose of Terraform. My name is Anton Babienko, and as you can see, I'm wearing the reInvent jacket. The only reason to wear this jacket is because I have hole on my t-shirt somewhere here. Yeah, and I was lazy to change my t-shirt, so that's why I have the jacket. It's not so cold in Norway, but it's just more convenient, laziness. Okay, let's take more serious stuff now. So first thing first, this is my GitHub page, and as you can see, I'm active in AWS and Terraform communities. I have committed a few things last week and had pretty good progress on different contributions to Terraform AWS modules. If you'd like to see more streams like this, or if you have any feedback, please let me know your feedback. I highly appreciate it. And also, I have no clue if this stream actually works because my counter does not show anything. So please say hi in chat if you can hear me well. Um, yeah, and where are you from? It's also good to know. I guess some of you are from Europe because it's 12 p.m. Um, Central European time, but it's also not so bad on the East Coast. Okay, right. So I also want to say big thanks to companies and individuals who are sponsoring my work. Uh, that's pretty much the way I survive. So thank you very much for that. Also, Terraform Weekly newsletter is getting well along. And this week I published another newsletter, and I want to say thanks to AutoCloud for being generous sponsor of this newsletter. And then you can go to weekly.ef, leave your email, and then you will receive email every Wednesday. This week there were several interesting articles which I'd like to highlight. I put them in this order, but I actually wanted to highlight one article by Bill Liu, who was describing different hacks or different ways to select a root directory where changes were made. So if you have GitHub Actions and you want to apply Terraform only in specific locations, you need to somehow figure out which directories you should go and apply Terraform or at least run plan. So this was a pretty convenient way. I use the same approach myself for TerraGrant, and I use the same GitHub Actions as he is mentioning there. So check it out if you find it useful. And yeah, uh, subscribe and you will be up to date. Also, I'd like to say a small announcement that May, I think 6 or 7 or around those days, I will be in US and I will be speaking at LambdaConf, which is not traditional conference as I usually attend, because this conference is more about functional programming, but there will be also a cloud native track as well as DevOps track where I feel much more comfortable to be presenting at. So if you want to go there, or if you are interested in lambdaconf.us, go to description of this video. I will put a link to discount tickets, and if you are there, just say hi, and I will be glad to get to know people like face to face. The conference itself is pretty big. There are more than 100 speakers, and yeah, lots of different technologies, lots of things which are not, how to say, well known for most people, because lots of different paradigms, lots of different types of programming approaches and so on. So functional is one of the approaches which I'm curious to know more. Okay, and also Robert Hafner is writing book. He has started writing it September 2000, 2023, and he expected to be finished in like 3 months. Okay, I want to say good luck to Robert, and Terraform in depth sounds like, I didn't read it yet, but it sounds like a good direction where Terraform books should be heading. Because to my mind, reading just another getting started guide is so boring that I don't want to even talk about it. But uh, when the content is actually described in depth, like he is planning, for example, some advanced things related to continuous integration and delivery, maybe some advanced Terraform patterns, testing, refactoring, and so on. It can be pretty interesting and pretty informative book. So again, good luck to Robert, and I will hopefully mention this book later when it's done or when I have something else to talk about. Okay, so we are 8 minutes in the stream, and let's start with something simple, and I will be going through different issues. I planned some of these issues. If you guys have any feedback, please let me know. I would rather work on something useful for specific people who are watching this stream instead of me fixing something for Redshift. Well, Redshift is something what nobody is using in my closest circle, I would say. I know that people are using it, but yeah, it's not something what I'm very familiar with myself. And as usual, I like to focus on more serverless things because that's pretty interesting for myself, and I have a lot of need for this myself, uh, like step function, lambda function, CloudFront, Event Bridge. This is something what I have scheduled for today. And I don't see any comments in chat, so hopefully I'm not talking to myself today. But even if I'm talking to myself, what a pleasure to talk to a smart guy. Right? Any objection? No objection. You see, that's how it looks like when you talk to yourself. Okay, let's talk about this issue. Roman Goldberg is asking, how can I specify the rule name? Dear Roman, if you go to root module and if you search here for the word role underscore name, you will see what you need. So to answer Roman's question, we need to just paste this link here and close with comment. Done. I wish all issues are like this. Right, this was quick. Let's see another one. Ability to support multiple host names and DNS zones. Many people like it. Oh my God, it seems like it's really useful. It was like a long time ago. Then Andres opened PR. I have reviewed it. I left a bunch of different comments there. But then sometime later, uh, someone said, I have the same issue. Okay, cool. Then GitHub says like, no, 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 you even if you have the same issue, we're not going to do anything. No sound issues today. Well, that's really an achievement. Thank you for the comment. At least I can see comments. So comments are working. That's great. And actually, I was surprised that last week there were so many views through Twitter. I have no clue what it means and or how people discover it. But yeah, I hope this was like a good achievement. So people could hear me last week as well, and people can hear me as well today. Good. So Philip said, I have the same issue, and then GitHub says like, no, 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 sorry, Philip, but we're gonna to close it in 30 days. But then Philip says like, no, I still have the same issue. GitHub says like, no, 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 you don't understand. We're gonna to close it. Philip says, no, I still have it. No, yes, no. And then just 20, 30 minutes ago, I looked at it and said, I have left actually a review for this PR, and without finishing those comments or working through those comments, there is no need to kind of constantly reopening this issue. So I left a review. Can somebody go and fix it, and then we'll take it from there? It doesn't really help when people say like, "Oh, there is still an issue. There is still an issue. Do something about it." I did my part. I left a review. So yeah, I left this comment, and there is nothing else to be done. You see, 12 minutes in the live stream, and we are already closing like hell. 4 issues in a row. Okay, Mikolai Hryb. Oh, maybe he's from Ukraine. Mikolai Hryb is writing that Terraform best practices. Yeah, for those who don't know, there is website terraformbestpractices.com, where I have described some of Terraform best practices. Well, already almost 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, long time ago, really. Many of those things are still applicable, and disregard that sometimes I'm referring to Terraform 0.13 because this was kind of a big thing back then, and it is still very good release. I'm still big fan of specifically that one. Yeah. So his comment was about, or his question was about, when I was reading about the naming convention, he was not sure that the name of the output. So as you can see, uh, name of the output should be like this. So security group ID, and how this thing is composed. This naming is typically composed of name, which is for the resource AWS security group, is just a security group, right? So this one security group, and then it should be type and type. No, sorry, it should be this security group and then ID. All of this with underscore in between, like this security group. But if we look further, if the output is returning a value with interpolation, blah, 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 this as prefix should be omitted. So that's why the name should be security group ID. I mean, this can be omitted. So that's why it is security group ID. So now, yeah, and that's what I say here. If it is this security group, then it's bad because this should be omitted. Okay, so name of the resource is this, so it should be omitted. Mm -hmm. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I guess that's it. There is no need to comment more than that. Can someone please explain to me what type is? Type is type of resource source, right? Yeah, I guess close with comment. So the thing is that oh yeah, I can leave it. Not good. This security group ID good is security group ID. Something like this. Okay, let's move on. Right. This is first and pretty much very useful thing, which I'd like to implement in Lambda module today. So this person who was born in 1989 mentioned that when we have, if we look into this code, if we have provider block where we specify default tag. Hello, Dimitar. If we use Terraform provider block and we specify default tags there, then these tags will be merged with the rest of tags, right? And if we look into this module and just expand it a little bit further here, so we this module's object is just create an S3 object with a bunch of different properties. What it means is that when we specify provider block and we have, let's say, 9 tags by default inside a provider block, and then these 9 tags will be used in addition to tags which are specified inside of this S3 object. And very important thing, sometimes or not sometimes, in S3 object there is a limit of tags per object, which is 10. So which means 9 coming from provider and 1 coming from S3 object itself. That's maximum what can be happening, right? And in recent version of Terraform AWS provider, they have added support for block which is called override provider, and there they specify that default tags can be empty. So for example, if provider specifies something, we want to turn off those tags and only use those tags which are coming from the resource itself. That's pretty much it. So I left this comment here, but as I can see, nobody was taking those and finish it. So now I'd like to finish this pull request, right? Yeah, I can edit this pull request as I can see here. So I will work on this one and apply similar logic to Lambda module, which is interestingly enough, but it was not, it was not a problem there. Okay, so it is pull request 261 in S3 bucket module, and this is my VS Code. So if I go to S3 bucket module, and if I run git pull, I need to get 261. What is it? Git, yeah, GPR. I made this shortcut for myself and I forgot it. I think it's GPR, which means GitHub pull request force 261. Nope, GPR. Is it alias? No, which GPR? No, it's not GPR. What was it? GitHub PR. Yeah, okay, anyway, let's make it old-fashioned by running this long command. So pull request number is 261. Okay, if we go to S3 bucket module, modules, object, right? Yes, so it's inside of object and it's here. So what I need to do, oh, by the way, this is probably again an API. What was this API rate limit? Yeah, oh, crazy. Again, I think I realized what is the problem here. So if I see this GraphQL request grepg, well, it's going to be a lot of noise, alias grepg. But again, the problem here is that my GraphQL quota is already used because of this hopeless GitHub extension. I probably need to turn it off forever. GitHub request. I have no clue what is it, but turn it off. Let's see if I just, where is this? Installed, enabled, GitHub. Okay, GitHub action, code spaces. So I don't need any of those. But at the same time, I don't have quota anymore, so I will not be able to run anything like the pull request list because it says that GraphQL API rate limit exceed. Okay. Right. So anyway, let's continue fixing code, and I'm pretty sure I will figure out this later. So as I left pull request comment, I'm just looking at those. First one is to have lifecycle, which is meta argument at the end, and then have this override provider only for the cases where I want to have where I specify override default provider tags. So let's say it's going to be dynamic for each. Where is my awesome autocomplete like this? You see, I cannot leave without it. Okay, it's a good start at least. So when users specify that they want to have override default tags, and then we render this block. Then we render this block. Should I keep it twice, or can I just remove this one? Probably I can remove this one like this. Content. Yeah, looks good. Looks good to me if it works. Okay, let's go to examples, object, and run tinit with upgrade, because I need to have new version like 20, more than 24. That's when this feature was added. Now it's downloading half of the internet, and now it's done, right? Let's see, let's go to example one more time just to see that object with default tags override default tags. Object with default tags override. Object with override default tags. Wow, it's not the best place to have creativity here, really. Local, what is local? We are already uploading one thing with local. So this file is going to be overridden. Let's have it override. Override. No. Override default tags. Amazing. Okay. So no need to have this thing. Sensitive, not really, but we have override true, just for fun, so that we see that our tag is used. And sensitive is kind of useless here. So it's going to have only this one, but let's also have default tags. Here we can specify that it's going to be example. Where is this example? Example object. Example object. Yeah, should be good. So we don't have to see this example object inside of this guy, right? Why this is S3 bucket with object lock? Yes, but this is so the logic here is that first we have most important module blocks, right? Object locked, object with this. Then we have extra resources. So that's why it's not good to have it so low. Okay, let's go one more time. And now let's apply it. Let's see. It should be quick, I guess. I'm lazy to see what kind of tags are being used. Yeah, but I can already see that this one of right default tags is only using tag which we specified, while other things are using example object which is coming from the provider. So it seems to work. What put object bucket is missing object log configuration? What is this? It was probably bad timing, right? Put object bucket is missing object log configuration. Which bucket? With object log. So this one. Object log configuration enabled. I guess if I run this now, it will be all right. Put object. The bucket does not allow ACLs. Anyway, if we run it now, will it work? No, it doesn't work. And which one doesn't work? Object complete example and object locked. Interesting. Object complete. So it doesn't like this. Object locked and object complete. Object complete. What's wrong here? In object complete. The bucket does not allow ACL. Well, I forgot what to write here, honestly. If I remove ACL here, will it work? This is because this bucket is pretty new, I guess. I need to specify bucket ownership or something like that. If anyone remember, please let me know. Okay, yeah, I removed the ACL and things work. And now let's see, bucket is missing object locked configuration. Object lock configuration. Why it is missing object lock configuration? So here we create a bucket, but we have not specified something inside of module object lock configuration. So on the level of bucket, there should be object lock configuration, this one. Do we have this object lock enabled? No, we don't have it here. we should have this one. Okay, we found the reference. Good luck. Okay, so at least this is better. And then object log configuration. But this one was false by default. So that's why this block was never present. So this object log enabled was necessary. Let's see. So it is trying to add this resource, right? Object. No, it's not trying to add it. First, it's this one is good, but then this one, object log configuration rule, default retention, log configuration rule, default retention. Let's take a look into complete example. I guess it is used here, right? So that's how it should be written, not like this. Default retention governance. Is it governance or is it compliance? I don't actually understand the difference in words, but let's try again. Okay, now we are making this thing here. Good. The reason why we didn't right, so as far as I remember, that's the difference. We may have object lock on the bucket level and on individual objects. So individual objects we are setting, but on the bucket level, it's like by default. We need to specify as well. Governance day one. Okay, let's run. Let's see. Ta-da! So yeah, that was good. I have no clue why this code was written here. And yeah, that was just wrong. Okay, so now we have made whatever was necessary. Now I want to try uh, uh, if I now, let's see. Oh yeah, let's try this one. T-show. This is just for fun, but again, it can be a good exercise to see the Terraform code which was actually generated from the real resources. So this is from Terraform state file. If I now look for my object, yeah, that's pretty cool. So this is object with override tags. As you can see, it has tags and tags all, and this block is present, right? If I now look for other object, S3 object, bucket, any object, where is object? Yeah, okay, this one. Here I can see that this one is from from S3 object, and this one is from provider, or this one is from provider. Right, okay, so this is cool. Let's try this false here, and I don't expect a lot of changes other than one attribute. Yeah, good. So it's adding this one. Yes, good. Okay, perfect. And default value of this one is false. Ignore provider default tags. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so let's destroy this one. I'm not sure if it will happen because it has governance enabled. Maybe it will require to stay for 1 day or for 1 hour at least. Anyway, that's it. So now this one is implemented, and I will have to move this code over to, yeah, we need to update wrapper. So let's see, git, it's going to be fixed example for object, and we need to run all of this to update wrappers. Well, Terraform validated. Right, let me think. So this module is expecting 527. That's when this feature was, no, 524. What about root module? Root module doesn't have this. I mean, root module can be any previous version because we don't have this override block there. But it's already higher, so it's good. So git commit. Git push string. Yeah, good. Okay, so this was pushed to the branch. Let me just see that it works. And it seems that it's working. Okay, so we remove this ACL. Apparently it's not needed for new buckets. And this is what we're going to move to Lambda module as well. Cool. I'm so happy that let's move. Let's just merge this one after it's succeeded. Okay, so inside of Lambda module, it's going to be exactly the same thing. So Lambda, it's going to be called tag default tag on right. Okay, so now let's find this Lambda module. Version is already pretty new. Good, we don't need to do anything there. We need to find this S3 obj. S3 obj. Where is this S3 obj? Here is it, S3 obj. And somewhere here we're going to put this. So we already have some logic here to handle S3 object tags only. Yeah, but these tags will be still merged with provider tags. Oh my God, it's so complicated. So there are at least 3 ways how this can be grouped. S3 object tags on, or maybe extend this one. So when user wants to use this thing, do they expect it to be merged with default from provider? Good question, and I don't have answer. That's why I'm going to copy code and don't think twice about it. Putin хуйло, that's fact. Where is the rest of this? No, variables. Variables. Okay. Okay, so inside of this module, we're going to add this variable. Where do we have it? S3 object, S3 KMS, source, Docker. Now let's search for tags. Oh, yeah, here is it. S3 object tags only. Where to put this block? Let's put it here. So it's going to be override default tags. Description, let's make a little bit more sophisticated for this one because it's good idea to explain a bit more here. So override default tags for S3 object, something like this. Here it says S3 object tags only. And here we say S3 object override default tags. Oh yeah, I think it's amazing name for the variable. And it's going to be whether to override the default tags from provider and note that S3 objects support a maximum of 10 tags. Amazing. Okay, and now let's get this code from here. This is the code. Let's put it here. So we're going to have S3. So when S3 object override default tags, and then, ta-da, yeah, maybe override provider default tags, override default tags. So when user don't want to have tags from provider, then they disable this one, but they still can mix and match this one plus this one. I think it's good. Okay. Right, so now let's go to examples and see if we need to do anything here. It's not a big thing, but if we already have function where we play with tags, yeah, we have here tags, yeah, cool. So then we'll just say that we want to have S3 object tags, and we will say that this is S3 object name, and we're going to call it lambda1. It's not lambda1. Okay, let's call it lambda1. But we also want to say that S3 object override default tags is true S3 object name. Yeah, I think it's fine. override through just for fun to see a bit more. Okay, version is fine here, so we don't need to do anything. Okay, let's go to examples. Complete. Oh my God, complete is going to take ages. Um, no, it's not going to take ages. Yeah, it should be fine to run it on all. Most importantly, we add this tag here, and that's it. And there is nothing t init and t apply. Mm, okay. Yes. You see, I have quick internet today. Good. So, so then I can go to console and see it there. Why not? For those who don't know, there is also a pretty nice way to see all of your resources, which is AWS Resource Explorer. You can see a bunch of resources. It's not real time, but it can give you pretty good kind of information that you have some resources which you didn't expect. Like in my case, a couple of weeks ago, it was Elastic File System, which I forgot about. So now if I go to Lambda and I see a bunch of function, I think this one, Lambda 1, should have tags. Yeah, right. Okay, so these tags are default one. Hmm. Right. Wait. I have fixed, I probably have fixed tags in wrong places because S3 object is only needed for Lambda functions where S3 object is stored. Yeah, okay, here it's actually stored. Right, so this is good example. Maybe I need to put these tags a bit higher. Somewhere here. Yeah, I think it's good to have it closer. So now if I go to this S3 bucket and then inside of Lambda builds, there should be do I have link here? I don't think I can go from here to my S3 bucket where I have this code, right? So that's why I go to S3 console and I find my bucket Lambda builds. This is my object, and where is my tag? And here is tag. Amazing. Amazing. Why there is module? Right, of course. Yeah, there is module because that's expected. I guess this was tag. Okay, that was it. Sounds very simple. Okay, then let's delete this one and open pull request. That's it. I think this was useful. Again, I often think about this Lambda module as something what should be used to manage all possible combinations or all features available in Lambda functions. And it's not very hard to do, as you can see, just add new things here and there, just work. So let's run. wrappers. This pre-commit obviously could have been executed automatically during git commit, but I prefer to run it sometimes separately because there may be something not working. And it's also executed on GitHub Action, so I don't need to wait for Terraform validate. So I can just skip it. It will be executed anyway sequentially. So now if I git commit, it's going to be added support to override s to override default tags on S3 objects of to override default tags of provider in S3 object. Yeah, again, executing this code, so we can just minus n and GitHub CLI will not work, so we need to do it like Grant that did. So let's open git push region feed. And let's click on this link. Yes, continue to GitHub. Okay, so here we have to write something smart. Description. I was inspired by this one. Inspired by this. To work around implementation of 10 tags code with 3 object. 3 object. Okay, this was description, motivation, all together. No breaking test, yeah. That's pretty much it. So now if we open this, let's review here. Looks good. Variable name. Yeah, no, not worst one. Good. So now if it will be green, then I can merge it right away. And this one I have already merged. And yeah, that's it. And this thing, yeah, this was removed. This removed. Good. Okay, so all of these things were fixed. Let's look into this one, I guess. CloudFront. CloudFront. Anyone else having similar issue? Marcella, I'm pretty sure that many people have similar issues. Michael says that he has the same. But Adam says that this one fixed. Oh my god, it's again this control object ownership, which I deliberately avoid to figure out because it's, yeah, it's not affecting me directly. So complete example is not working. That's bad. But yeah, the code looks ugly, so I don't want to read it. Let's see what else can be about this problem. So origin, access identity, and another one which is called identity is this one, OAI and OAC. Okay, so these are two similar things. I remember I worked on it in the past. So let's look, maybe this is similar type of change. This is S3 bucket module. Oh my God. So let's see. This is adds attachable CloudFront OAI and policies. S3 bucket is often connected with this. Workarounds. Workarounds. I didn't know that this is called workaround. I thought this is standard way to allow two things, OAI and OAC. Okay, good to know. Somebody from Europe, so he probably knows what he's talking about. Okay, so what he is doing is that he just adds these two statements inside of the module and introduces couple variables. Yeah, well, pretty decent solution. Absolutely. Then the code is simplified, then examples is updated. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, let's take a look. Let's think where this can be. Like, is this one an improvement to the way how CloudFront is working? Probably not. But yeah, there's a lot of code. Is required, but no definition was found. Okay, let's think about this issue separately. This one is pretty uh, straightforward. I don't have any strong objections about this one. So let's finish this one first and see if I have time for the one about CloudFront. So wait, CloudFront as well will have to be improved so that we can get rid of this thing. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So that example will be just shorter and more to the point. So we're gonna have to make this S3 bucket and specify a couple values, and this code will not be used. Okay, so going back to this S3 bucket module, let's take a look logically. Does it make a lot of sense? And also let's take a look and let's compare it with this one, right? Because here we used to have get object of some resources by these principles, right? So this is get object of these resources of these resources. Let's see. This statement can be, no, sorry, this resource is pointing to static. Why to static? Because we want to give only this one to CloudFront, right? That's why it is static. It's not like root of the root of the bucket. So we may have to have parameterization in these resources as well. By default, yeah, we probably can do this like this. For this CloudFront OAI, IAM IRNs, front. Oh yeah, I am adding. Yeah, so this one looks okay. Then what about this one? Why do we have to give least bucket to CloudFront OAI? I don't see this needed here, but maybe it is needed. So let's search for this one, least bucket. Least buckets or least bucket. Mm, mm. Also, yeah, that's a good case here because we may want to allow S3 bucket to allow read and write access to OAC, or actually OAC or OAI. It's important to not confuse these two. So OAI, this one, allow legacy. I really like when we use the same thing here. So this seed, when we get object, get out, get object with the condition, allow CloudFront service principal read only. This one. Well, I'm a bit lost. Which one do we need to have? We need to give get object twice, but for two different principles, right? And some advanced, of course. Legacy not recommended. Maybe. Maybe we don't have to even implement it if it's so legacy. It's not a bad idea, but it's just, yeah. If there is new version which is fully supported and doesn't have any drawback, let's see. So anyway, list bucket is not needed here. So let's start leaving comments. So first, this one S3 list bucket doesn't seem to be needed according to docs. According to the docs, which docs? So these docs, right? Yeah, according to this specific section. Okay, then let's keep this seed. Where is the seed? No, where is the seed? Using a region access policy for CloudFront private content. From private content. I'll just, where was this? Here. Please use the same seed as the one you are copying it from station G. Okay. I thought I will just merge it and everything will be fine, but apparently it's not mentioned like this in documentation, so that's why it's it's important to kind of look at this one more time and think about it carefully. So this one is not needed. This one is okay. Mm. Okay, where was this? Mm. Yeah. Ah, okay. So this one is for two things, for OAI and OAC. Ah, okay. So then, but anyway, we don't need to implement two of these because we implement two of them separately. All right. So that's it. Let's look into this one, CloudFront OAC read policy. Or actually, sorry, wait. Can we have mm, can we add support for read and write here? Is it a good idea? Do we have such things in the past? I'm just thinking, will it be a good idea to expand this one to even more policies? Probably it's not bad idea. Uh, yeah, let's add another statement here uh, to let's add another statement to support right policy as well. Hmm. Use use condition. Oh, how to say? It's a good idea to have attach cloud front OAI policy with like one variable, or am I just over engineering? So it's going to be this one, and then one for read and one for write. Or is it too much? Hmm? Because what is different here is just actions. So if we say attach CloudFront OAI policy, and then we can specify CloudFront OAI, our CloudFront OAI actions, something like this, IAM actions, and here will be list of those things. S3 put object. Hmm? I think it's good, and again, it's more flexible because the parameters are exactly the same. So let's add not another statement, but let's add let's let's change this statement to support write operation, write actions as well. Let's use var policy. Yeah, good. So let's use uh, let's use this one. By default, they're gonna to be false, and tries I actions used by AI via a separate variable. And allow parameterization in default value is like this. All right. So let's change this statement to support write operation as well. Um, let's use policy. Let's use boolean control named and allow parameterization with a separate variable. Um, the default value is something like this, right? So this way we can have it pretty flexible for both read and write. I think it's good. This one, I don't know, is it? It's not needed. Yeah, it's not needed for this one. Grant read, yeah, and let's rename this one as well. It shouldn't be read, it should be just see. And this one is also not just read, but it's also like this. And looking at OSC, I guess it is similar situation here because we may have get and list buckets. I don't think list bucket is needed at all. Yeah, list bucket is not needed. So again, let's leave very similar feedback about this one. Let's apply the same flexibility in the support for read write actions as I described above for all AI. Yeah, I think it's cool. And yeah, well, I don't want to repeat this one. Controls if S3 bucket should have blah blah blah. Configure with yeah. No, looks good. Uh, not as good as I expected, but at least in the right direction. Cool. Then request change. What? Something good. I need to write something good. Looks pretty good. And then a few comments about to extend it to support read and write operation. Read and write to support the read and write. Yeah, and also update examples. Examples. Also, please take a look at the examples and take a look at the examples in this module and in the CloudFront module, right? CloudFront module like this one. Looks very good. There are a few comments about how to extend it to support very. Oops. Also, please take a look and request change. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Not everything was done, but at least that's a good start. There is something failing. Let's take a look. Mm. Mm-hmm. Why? Ah, of course, Terraform docs was not changed. Okay, I will take a look. Git status, git Terraform docs. Okay, I just run Terraform docs and committed it. Should be good. Okay, now let's see if this works. Then I can merge it, and it will be all done. That's it for today. I think I have accomplished something working, something useful. So thanks everyone for joining, and hopefully see you next week or maybe in a week. I don't know yet. See you. Bye.